This is Amy with Moxie Blooms and Flower Moxie, and we are going to take this new acrylic round vase on its maiden voyage. I just got it in this morning from our manufacturer who creates the acrylic floral runners. I had a few clients ask me, can you do it in round? So I reached out and we designed it. And I've never built in this, so I may hate it, and if I hate it, then I won't be ordering it. But basically, it's pretty much like a regular round 4x6 vase, but then it has this table with the holes. And so basically it reduces the amount of mechanics that you would need to use. I think that if you wanted to have additional support, you could use one of those clear acrylic pin frogs to press on the bottom, but I just want to try it as is. So I'm going to be working with these leftovers. I took apart a past tutorial. Some of these are a little bit too short, but it doesn't matter. We're giving this a try. So let's get started. I have some cremones. So what I'm doing is keeping this long enough to where it can hit the side wall, and I can hopefully start creating a grid within the arrangement. It might be wise to put a piece of floral tape over the top, but again, let's just try it completely on its own. Yeah, that gets weird when you start pulling stuff out. It's not too obnoxious, but slightly. So this rose is really short, but I'm curious if we buddy it up, what it's going to be like. So in contrast, if you were just to get a clear glass vase, you would need to tape a grid with green or clear waterproof floral tape. I feel like we have a little bit more control with these holes. Yeah, let's see if we can get some height. So if you're noticing, I'm putting my anchor pieces first. That means my heavier pieces. I do have some lighter things, which I like to call dancers. And so I come in with those once I have a foundation. And what's nice is dancers typically have thinner stems like this Orlea. And they have thin stems. And so if I were to put a thin stemmed item in this first, it would just be wonky and wobble around because there isn't anything to hold it up. So I kind of do things in sets of 3, and I want to fill this out obviously a little bit more. This flower is so sad. He's done. We're going to use it anyways. Obviously not if this was an arrangement I was selling, but for practice, of course. So we're going to let that guy kind of anchor down in. This stalk is a little bit weird, kind of popping out, but I'm going to leave it there for now. And the reason being is I know I'm going to come in with more linear things. So I've created a base. Now let me come in with some other product that's kind of sticking out a little bit so that stalk doesn't look so weird, like it's just hanging out on its own. And it's all about experimentation. And not everything I build always turns out. And that's true for any florist, no matter how experienced they are. And so hopefully that gives you confidence that if you build something and you hate it, welcome. So I feel like it's pretty stable. I haven't, I kind of thought that the little table would be a little bit weird, but so far I'm pretty happy with it. I like that it's lightweight. You don't have to worry about it shattering. I mean, it's acrylic, so you can break it, but it isn't glass. So now that it's full, I definitely feel like I'm running out of like a little bit of stock real estate real estate with the holes. Oh, I forgot about these guys. The anthurium. They make me so happy. It is my new favorite flower for sure. These are pistache and Midori. The pistache has a little bit of like a blushy peachiness happening in it. And the Midoris are just Midori green, which is such a great word. When working with these, make sure that you never touch the spadix. It will turn the entire spadix brown because the oil's on your hand. So cute. Got these little shorties. I think that guy is too short. So let's get a few more dancers in there and I will call it done. So the ones that I put really low, I find that I have to kind of shift them out of the way. But what's nice is when I stick this thin stem in and then I put that anchor one back, I find that it really holds things in place. So that wouldn't happen with a taped grid. My whole thing with this is like, is it worth it to bring in these acrylic ones, or should we just do glass and keep the waterproof tape? I like it. I mean, I have some of my, like my stems, I don't have any greenery. Some things were a little bit too short just because they had been cut short for the previous tutorial, but I find that I'm not needing to pack in quite as much product as I would with tape. And now I'm just trying to observe any holes, any weird placements. Yeah, very good. All right. Okay, maiden voyage. I think I'm pretty pleased with it. I didn't know if it would be that helpful, but I found that things weren't toppling out. I'm not a big taped grid fan. I find that it's really hard to kind of get it started, and I really have to pack in the greenery. I have to load it down, maybe put some heavier anchor things like hydrangea, which isn't as popular as a product to work with right now. And I have to really layer things in because it will just fall out. So I did not experience that. I was initially afraid that the table would keep popping out as I was pulling things in and out. I would say if I was designing this for a wedding, or a client, I would absolutely use a little piece of waterproof floral tape. I think that's just safer. That way, you know, if it gets tilted in transit, the top doesn't come out. I feel I could probably make it a little bit larger. So we'll do a bit more experimentation. And then of course you could always do pave style. That's when you cut flowers basically to lay on top of the tray, and that would be interesting too. So is a thumbs up for me. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ask me any questions, make any requests. I love that. And visit us at flowermoxie.com or Moxie Blooms. Thank you so much. Okay, so lastly, we know I'm a fan, but Tiffany, who is a creative director at Flower Moxie, she had a really good question, and it was, how do people refill this? And so there's a few ways to do it. You could get your kitchen sink nozzle, push it down, you know, and just let it run. It would refill. But I also wanted to see if we could just pick it up, and it feels like we can. So I picked this table up, and you know, you could easily come in and refill it after transport, because that's important. Things slosh out when you're driving. And then you might need a buddy. I might need a buddy. I have a few stems that are poking out. I think it's this one over here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, and then it sets back in. You might have to come in and like pull some things out if they have sunken in, but I was pleased with that too. You can absolutely not do that if you tape a grid. So I'm a fan of the table, and I think that we'll order some